Welcome to Real Life and Real Faith. Join us at real-faith.tv, and we're going to be talking about what is truth, a great topic for this hour.
Guess where we are? I promised you we'd come to you from Israel. And guess who's with me? The troublemaker herself. The one who started the whole thing. Pipa, say hello to the beautiful warriors.
I'm just so thrilled to say hello to the warriors. I met a whole bunch that are on the trip when we were on the Lake of Galilee, the Sea of Galilee.
Stop telling them all the secrets.
And so I got to say hello to them and sat and chatted to them. And if you had been on the trip, you would have had time with the worship we had this morning.
Well, they're going to. This is what's so beautiful. It all started. We got here, and of course prepared ourselves for the launch in Galilee. On the sea, and it was greater than what I expected. The people are so pumped and so excited. Thank you for your love and support, and I promised you I'd come to you, and look how beautiful it is behind you. Look at the scenery. This is the Sea of Galilee. This is where Jesus walked on the water and did many miracles here. Most of his ministry was around here.
Yes, it was.
I mean, he did a lot of. You know, the song that I got, this is what I'm telling about, when I was leading the worship, well, now you're going to get this. You are going to actually get this footage. We couldn't do it today, of course, but we're going to get it to you where all the boats were joined together, and they brought us on, and of course the crowds were there cheering. They were so excited, as you will be when you see it. Got onto the boat, all the boats were joined together, and I had the keyboard and the girls, and we sang, and Pipa was close by, and Christy, and the arrows were there, and of course the 500 and whatever people were there, and we started worshiping together. And I love the song that Jesus sang, or the Lord sang to us, was how he had walked and on that water, and now they were on that water singing praise to him. You're going to hear it. It's very beautiful. But anyway, here we are. It's the climate here, and I'm not talking about the natural climate, although it is very hot. It's very humid. Yeah, and we'll probably be a bit dry in Jerusalem and cooler. The important thing is that there's also a spiritual climate, a political climate. People are afraid. People are weary. They're tired of being attacked, Israel. And what we're seeing here is a proclamation that is coming out of Israel by the prophet, by the people that are around me. It's just an very, very powerful feeling. Now, Fiona, if you want to share a little bit about the United Nations, resolution, what they want to do with the occupied territory, maybe you can just share on that a little bit, so that people understand that this is a vicious attack, and God placed Fiona and the warriors here at such a time as this. So, tell us a little bit about it. What your take is on it.
Okay. I think that for me, one of the most extraordinary things, though, is the timing of you being here, of us being here together.
Yes.
Because when God told you 18 months ago to fast for 18 months and then have an event in Israel, none of us had any idea of what would be brewing in the Palestinian territories at that time. This is something that's really only been coming to a head in the last number of months, and it's culminating in the week that we are here and in next week. And the big event is on the Sunday, and now there's some idea that things could happen the week after that. So we're trusting God that something incredible is going to happen in the week that we're here with Kim as the prophet of God, called to prophesy to Israel, to make these proclamations and declarations. But really what happened was, first of all, to talk about the West Bank. I just get totally incensed when it's called the occupied West Bank, because that is land given by God to Israel, and it's actually Judea and Samaria. And that was the land that Jesus himself came from the land of Judea. And he ministered in Judea and in Samaria. So it is Israeli territory. But there is this great push to have a Palestinian state. Now, at the moment, Israel has already given back some of the Gaza Strip. It's given back the Golan Heights, things that were taken in the 1967 war, and yet they have really tried to make peace and to keep peace with their Palestinian neighbors. And if you will have listened to the teachings that I did on Israel, you'll know that I've said that Israel is not expansionist. In other words, Israel is not trying to take over Arab or Palestinian territory, no matter what the media might tell you. Because all Israel wants is a homeland where the Jewish people can exist as a sovereign nation.
That's right.
And all of this, the uprising of the Palestinians demanding their own state, is an effort, because they have not been able to defeat Israel militarily. There's an effort now to land grab, to force them to give land for peace. And yet we know that even if they acceded to this and went back to the pre-1967 borders, not only would that make Israel as a nation indefensible, they would not stop there. They would then push to go back to the pre-1948 borders, because that is exactly the way it operates. And the whole thing is an effort to actually hold the world to blackmail, to go to the United Nations. And I really encourage you to watch the live event on Sunday evening, because I'm going to be preaching into this. But to really hold the world to ransom by causing the United Nations to try to force Israel to give back land, so that they're just a sliver of land left, at one point only 9 miles across, in which case it would be completely indefensible. And so the fact that we are here at this time, in this crucial week, which when Kim went on the fast 18 months ago, nobody had any idea, least of all him, that the significance of the time for us to be here.
Well, you know, when I was praying just before I left, I went into my garden, which I'd dedicated 18 months of my life to, and I was in the garden, and I got on my knees, and I felt this so sad, you know, because I've been doing this for so long, 18 months, morning and night, and this presence of God is so beautiful there. And I got on my knees and said, "Oh Lord, this is it." I said, "This is it. This is my last day and my last morning. I leave today for Israel." And I didn't sense, you know, that He was present, even though I know He's present. He's omnipresent and everything. But there's a real special presence that comes when I would pray. And I heard His voice saying to me, "Your feet, your heart, your knees, your hands, your voice is already in Israel." And this is His last words. He said, "Now go." And something it was like came on me and over me. It was like He'd already placed me there. You know, the story about Ananias who was praying, and, you know, Saul was on the road and he was persecuting the Christians. And it's always been very tumultuous, because it's demonic. It's that, you know, the enemy knows the importance of Israel and the church of Jesus Christ, and how powerful it is on the earth. If he could get rid of them, what he could do. And Saul of Tarsus, of course, you know, the experience he had with Jesus. And I love the story because Ananias, Jesus speaks to Saul and says to him, you need to go into Jerusalem. You need to go into the city at least, so I can instruct you. He could have told Saul right there and everything, but he didn't. He only gave him a little bit. "I'm Jesus whom you are persecuting," and does that whole thing with him. He says, "Now go into the city and you will be told." Now when when Jesus goes to Ananias, or the Lord goes to Ananias, who's praying in the city, a praying person, the presence of prayer, He says to him, "Now I want you to go to Straight Street." That's where, of course, you know, that's where Saul of Tarsus was sent. He was blind. And he said, "To the house of Judas, there is a man by the name of Saul who is praying." Now I can only imagine, you've heard me teach on this before, how Ananias must have felt, not knowing what had already happened to Saul. So he didn't know what had happened to Saul as yet, that he'd got converted, that he was blinded. And here he was in a state of panic, even saying to the Lord, "And don't you realize this man has the power to bind and to take into to Jerusalem?" And of course he said, "Go." Now I love this part in Acts. He says, "Go, for I have already shown him a man." by the name of Ananias. In other words, you're already there. Your presence is there. I already shown Saul that you, the guy, is going to open his eyes and lead him into the baptism of the Spirit or whatever. And so he'd have the experience. His eyes would be open. But I love that because he had already taken Ananias, spiritually of course, and placed him there. His authority was in the house of Judas on Straight Street. That's where the authority was. The authority was no longer in that house of prayer where he was praying. Ananias was very comfortable and cozy praying in his house. But now that prayer had taken him, his anointing, and placed it into the house of Judas on Straight Street for this incredible thing to happen. That's how I feel about this. I feel like I was praying for 18 months. He said, now, this is not where you are. Your spirit is already moving ahead, and the anointing is there prepared for you. And so when I got here, immediately I could sense a grace on me, a favor. The anointing was so strong. And this morning when we were praying together and worshiping on the Sea of Galilee, you could feel the presence of God. I walked on, and there was a young man. I threw my mantle, and it hit him, and I started prophesying over him. Spirit of prophecy was already happening. And then the people started cheering. You, my beloved warriors, have supported. Us and brought us here, and I want to thank you for that. You're going to share. We're going to be filming, by the way, doing some stuff on Mount Tabor. I just heard that's how they say it in the Hebrew. And on Mount Tabor, we're going to be doing a bunch of things. And then tomorrow at Carmel, we'll make sure that you get the footage, even if it's next week. I also want to say this to you, that you have the opportunity to bless us and to continue supporting us. Don't stop now. Remember, we have our special time together where you come and you give. There's that offering link there. I want you to seriously pray today and say, God, I want you to show me what I must give. I want to sow into Israel like never before. Just keep doing it. Even if it's just $5 or $500 or $50, whatever it is. You know I do it. We're going to do it in a few minutes. But I just want you to know that we are at the right place at the right time for the right reason at the right season. The anointing moved from my prayer garden right here to Israel, and I can sense it. And there are going to be beautiful things happening. We'll make sure you get it.
We have recently joined with you at MyPillow, and you guys are sponsoring us. We have our promo code, Kim Clement, right?
It's our 20-year anniversary, everybody. Back in the summer, in July of 2004, when I invented MyPillow. The MyPillow, the queen size. This is the patented fill, and this is Giza cover, the cotton cover we use on our sheets. So it's a very special limited edition pillow. The queen size, normally $69, I believe $98, $19.98 with their promo code there. $19.98. The king size, I didn't plan this either. They just happened to be in my office. The king size is $29.98. You guys, these are, and they're normally $79.98. So you're getting the best price of any MyPillow in history. If you go to the website, too, we still have some closeout slippers at $25 a pair. You'll never be $25. These slippers are closeout. I run into people all the time. Mike, I have all your products. No, you don't. Do you know about our dish towels that just came in? The best dish towels you'll ever use in history, ever. And when we reverse engineer a product, we go problem solution. I want dish towels that dry the things, not that feel, hard or whatever. I mean, it's disgusting. These actually work. These actually work. But yeah, use that promo code Clements, everybody, and to take advantage of that right now.